So now that we've beaten the game, we have all the memories and documents from the earlier portion of the playthrough. So let's go ahead and just read through them, see if there's anything else we can glean now that we've seen the end of the game that would hint towards the final boss, or any other connections the game might have had. And let's jump back into things. It seems to have forgotten which ones we've done. I guess I didn't save through before, so I'm just gonna skim through these again. Just to get them unmarked. We're just gonna skim through these. So sorry, I thought I saved after we went through them last time. I believe these final three are the new ones. I'll take a look at this solution. Okay, so this one might also be new, so let's read through this one. We can't go on like this, one time messenger after another, I say. They'll just sit around me. I've joined the circle now. Grandmother Undar nods. The Lekemi have increased their patrols in recent years. You're right, Celine. Cannot do this forever. They will find the time spinner. One of her wives, Thea, crosses her arms. We cannot give up. We need a new plan, I say. Can't risk using the time spinner now with Lunace. We only have a few messengers left, and we can't train them fast enough. What we need is a new kind of time messenger. What do you have in mind? Undar asks. Our traditions have always been for the time messenger to only come back as far as necessary to keep the clan safe, so as not to distort history too much. We have no idea if time can withstand more than a small amount of change at a time, Thea says, being completely right. I nod. But we must take a chance. Propose we train one time messenger to go back further. Go into the past. Prevent the Lekemi from ever learning about the time spinner if we can. Do something that will keep them from ever being a problem. That's a huge change, Thea says. It will completely change our history. We don't even know if we still exist. But it must be done, I say. The time spinner is all that matters. And who would you propose be the new time spinner? Undor asks, but she already knows my answer from the glint in my eye. An old friend. I'm in the city once more. It has been many years since I made the journey. But we needed supplies, including some for Lunace's party. Her training is nearly complete, and she will be a time messenger as soon as the celebration is done. I'm so proud of her, but also so aware of the dangers and pain we're asking her to endure. I'm also hoping to learn more about the Lekemi. Perhaps get some clue to their movements. Perhaps some information Lunace can use to stop them forever. Examine a crate of Lekemi's sons in the marketplace. Hoping to get one for Lunace. She won't understand the importance, but maybe one day. There's a large Lekemi patrol nearby. It's not nearly as bustling as the last time I was here. I casually scrutinize the sun as they pass, hoping to avoid attention. I'm unsuccessful. Celine? I recognize the voice. I turn as he takes off his helmet. He has a beard now, blue as his hair, but it's definitely him. Nuvius, I say. That's Emperor Nuvius, one of his guards snarls. My eyes widen. It's okay, Karak, he smiles at me. Never thought I'd see you again. He moves to embrace me, and I fight the urge to recoil. There are so many soldiers. Emperor? I manage. He stays close when he releases me, and lowers his voice. Yes, I was merely a prince when I saw you last. Didn't want you to like me just for my power, but come. We must catch up. Dinner somewhere. I know a lovely little spot. He gestures a path through his squad of guards, and they part on command, snapping to attention. Emperor Lakim. But what choice do I have? I nod. Twilight dinner. To his credit, the spot he found for dinner is lovely. A view of the ocean, twilight surrounding us, a warm breeze rustling the trees. Still, I'm profoundly uncomfortable. I've always hoped I would see you again, Nuvius says to me, pouring me a glass of wine. How come you never returned? I had other things to take care of, I say. Come, like what? I became a leader of my clan. Ah, wonderful. We're both leaders then. That night all those years ago, I meant what I said about wanting to find a wise ally. Truly, Nuvius, your people have taken so much from our world, I say, hoping his response will reveal the desire for self-improvement I remember. What we have taken, we have given back tenfold, he scoffs. I look down. But perhaps I haven't had the right counselor, he recovers. I still think about that night so long ago. Of the family we could have had. Tried to hide my reaction, but I could tell by his that I failed. What? He stops drinking his wine and looks at me. There's something you're not telling me. I had a daughter, Nuvius. I'm stunned at my own admission. I'm panicking. I need to get out of here. His eyes widen. Is she... I nod reluctantly. A daughter! His eyes have lit up. That's perfect. That's wonderful. What's her name? Lunace. I felt like throwing up. Lunace, Celine, I'm so pleased. You must bring her to me. I shake my head and stammer. My clan is very private, Nuvius. We do not let outsiders... Who cares about your clan? He downs his glass of wine and pours another. I am the Emperor. You will come back with me, you and Lunace. You'll be my queen. We can rule the galaxy together. I'm speechless for a moment. What? Is all I can manage. Celine, I've waited for this for years. I love you. That's why I've wanted to see you again for so long. You can have anything you've ever wanted. Just come with me. We can be together forever. I balk. You love me? You knew me for 3 days, almost 20 years ago. And I never forgot you. Red flag. I've always loved you. I long for a family with you, and here are my wishes fulfilled. Well, I'm sorry, Nuvius. It's not mutual. You were a fling. You were fun. You were an important infusion of new blood to our clan. But I never loved you. Oof. Nonsense, he says. I ruled this world, Celine, and so many others. Think of that power. What we could do together if you will be mine. You can rule with me. You're responsible for so much pain on this world. I can't stop myself from saying. When Diria chafes in your grip, it was powerful before you showed up. It doesn't matter as long as you're with me. No, I will never be with you. Yeah, definitely infusion of new blood is certainly a way to phrase the birth of a child, for sure. But you're mine! His voice is rising. I stand suddenly very scared. You and my daughter! I will have you! I'm leaving, Nuvius. Fine, I don't need you. But I will have my daughter. Tell me where she is and you can go. Leave us alone! He lunges for me, but wine has made him sloppy already. I flee. You can't keep her from me, I hear him scream. I will find you! Impolite word. Let's see, final circle. Celine's memory of her final gathering with the elders. Circle of elders is very quiet. Just told them Lunace's father is the Lekemi Emperor, man responsible for so many of our woes. This is a disaster. He will redouble his efforts to find us, Clan Mother Undar says. I know, I reply, full of shame and fear. We must act quickly. We must set our plan in motion. Lunace's birthday celebration, her officially becoming a time messenger, is tonight, Thea says, but I fear she's not ready. Send me with her, I say. What? The clan mother shakes her head. Two have never gone through the time spinner together before. We should try. If I go, I will never have existed. So the Emperor will have no one to hate. But if I never existed, Lunace will never have been born, and we need her. If we go together, perhaps we can both survive together. We can stop Nuvius and the Lekemi. It's a huge risk, Thea says. It must be done, Undar replies. We have little choice anymore. We must try. I nod. Thank you, Clan Mother. But let Lunace have her celebration. She has worked so hard for this. After the procession to the time spinner, you can tell her our plans. I nod again. Very well. So we have the letters we've read before. We know about the Declaration of Independence. Know about political advice. Naivety, he responds back. Then we saw the sick burn from Alenia. And the remaining ones might be new, so let's go through this. Emperor Volterus. As you know, I recently returned from an extended diplomatic mission to Valette, despite your reservations. To put it simply, the sheer numbers that have been sent to Lakim as part of your edicts on public safety made the formation of their society inevitable. It's a human drive to survive, and Lakemi have begun to work together to do simply that, despite their suffering. They are, like it or not, a fully functioning society, independent from our control. Without subjecting our own people to the bleakness, they must remain so. However, I believe the existence of the Lakemi society can be a benefit to us. We're still able to remove the undesirables from Valette. There'll be less unrest among our own citizens if they know the criminals have some hope of life beyond the portal. Furthermore, when Lakim was first discovered, it was noted to be rich in natural resources. Plans to colonize were only halted because of the bleakness. The Queen Philia society exists now regardless. That means those resources are now available. I propose a treaty with Lakemi to trade for those resources. We gain their benefits with none of the human costs. In exchange, we can offer the plasma pods, allow them to mitigate the worst of the bleakness, allow them to live more comfortably such we could profit off their labors. There's benefit to accepting their society, Emperor. Hate to waste it, I'd happily continue as an official ambassador if you deem it appropriate. Yours, Alenia. War of the Sisters. It is the year of the Sisters 47. It will be known as the year of the War of the Sisters began. Hope this record will survive as a testament to history. I returned to Lakim to officially deliver Volterus' refusal of a treaty with Queen Philia. In truth, I had no intention of returning to Valette. Volterus has proven that he is only concerned with himself and his own power. In fact, I am the new princess of Lakim, having been married to Queen Philia in a brief ceremony. We will rule Lakim together, and better than Volterus ever did Valette. Unfortunately, it became clear that would mean war. I was resistant. Could we simply not try to live separate from Valette? But Philia has been here for far longer than I. She understands there is no peaceful existence under a fascist, even if he's on another world. But we were at a loss. How could we, with so few auras, and so weakened by the bleakness, hope to fight against Volterus' army? Even the passion inspired by rebellion would not be enough for our soldiers. It was in the depths of despair and anger one night that the immortals appeared to us. Immortals? As though those the devils? I understand them to be powerful spirits, manifestations of magical energy, perhaps pure auras. They offered their help. It wasn't an easy decision, but it was a necessary one. Only with their help we would have had a chance against Valette. They've given us power. They've given us hope. The War of the Sisters. We must do what we must. Oh, we do what we must, excuse me. Princess Alenia, Peace Treaty. Emperor Volterus. I send this missive with Queen Philia, rightful ruler of independent Lakim, to augment her in treaty for peace. After Commander said, given our history together, and I believed it important to represent her world herself. Oh. Oh, so maybe I had them out of order then? Oops. So okay, so sorry, the one we had read before was actually that one, so I think I missed reading this one. Philia, I sent this letter under the guise of a diplomatic missive. Hope it reaches you safely. To put it simply, I miss you. Since returning to Valette, I've been able to think of little but our time together. Our talks in the gardens, the dinners under the blue sky, your warmth in the cold nights. Even the early signs of bleakness were nothing to your touch. You have opened my eyes, Philia. Now that I'm back on Valette, I begin to see these things I never saw before. Or those things, excuse me. I live in such an open environment, I do not see the oppression that lives beneath it. How the very culture works to hold down those without auras while binding the upper classes to their struggles. How their needs are invisible to us. That's simply a class of hierarchy. They're treated as less than human. Meanwhile, we seek to exterminate them altogether. Magic class is socially forbidden from fraternizing with those without, let alone to have children with them. We're breeding a more powerful race of magic users. Like Volterus is simply waiting for the rest to die off. We're killing those who don't die off fast enough. Volterus is powerful, concerned only with his power. There will be no reconciliation with Lakim, nor victory in conflict. However, I will see what I can do in the courts. Perhaps I could find a way to make things easier for you. Hope construction of your castle continues to go well. I miss you, with love from Philia. So I think we've seen all of these things. We definitely read the naivete. So I think the only one left then is stained letter. A letter that appears to be stained with blood. Alenia, no. You are a fool. Luckym belongs to me. You are but prisoners. Do not forget that. Do not expect to see your dear Philia again. You must serve as an example to those who would defy me. Emperor Truant Voluntarilius of United Villette. Short and simple. I don't know how many of the downloads we went through. Definitely went through Luckym and Villette and War of the Sisters. Weakness research, we know that they didn't succeed. Emperor Nuvius. Yeah, remember Mortal Kombat. I don't know if we did Winderia. Guess we'll reread it, doesn't really hurt. Winderia is a small pastoral planet in Urnia Galaxy. The exoplanet was first discovered by Luckemy scientists in 869 AE via high-powered telescopes. In 1032 AE, the Imperial spaceship Ambition made a successful voyage to Winderia, but remained in orbit in order to study the planet and its civilization from afar. After several months of research, it was deemed prudent to make contact with intelligent inhabitants of the planet. Oh, Mortal Kombat, nice. The Winderian natives proved to be peaceful, and eventually, a successful trading agreement was established between Luckym and Winderia. The Empire now freely trades technology with the Winderians in exchange for their natural resources. Despite a few minor rebellions, the Empire's relationship with Winderia is considered to be very positive. So I'm pretty sure all the experiment ones are new. We'll go from Wreck Farewell downwards. Notes about a Wartech program by the infamous scientist Genza. The Wreck program, or War Robots of Extinct Creatures, is finally being phased out. Oh, that's why they have the robotic version of the other characters. Okay. After its successful run of over 3 decades, including one transplanetary war, decided to discard all unused units. Part of me will miss Wreck, as its usage of long-since dead animals as inspiration for each new model was always quite endearing to me. As if the designers were uttering a quiet apology for eradicating the animal's entire species, whether the extinction was intentional or not. Nevertheless, the new technology that we are receiving from our mysterious allies is undoubtedly far superior to any unit from the Wreck program, be it in speed or cost to simple lethality. Despite these new and exciting advances in science, part of me will always miss the quaint little creatures from the Wreck line. Biotechnology. Notes about biotechnology by the infamous scientist Genza. The new line of biotechnology war machines is proving to be quite effective. Never imagined juxtaposing simple metallic automata with literal biological organs. Surprised by the practicality of using enormous organic eyes as an ocular source for robots, ants as they are. Of course, an intentional side effect of the design is that they are so unsettling. The individual who spearheaded this new technology, Amadeus, somewhat of an enigma to me. We were in his lab earlier, that's where all the lasers were. Claims to be from Surfland, but I find that claim preposterous considering the primitive level of scientific advancement of that planet. My skepticism is not shared with the new Emperor, however. At least he doesn't seem to care. Perhaps I will attempt to reverse engineer Amadeus' biotech creations. It may be that I find my own answers there. Experiment number 11. Notes about the 11th experiment by the infamous scientist Genza. Subject exhibited an enhanced growth rate, as well as the addition of new psychic abilities, despite the subject's parents being completely void of any talent. Though my colleagues consider this experiment to be a failure, we've yet to achieve our true goal. I believe it's at least a step in the right direction. This will serve as a springboard for my next experiment. As a side note, some of my colleagues appear to be squeamish about the lengths we are going for this research. I do not blame them. The process of splicing unknown organic material into the embryo of a Winderian commoner is quite a leap from the most modern scientific techniques. I know I do evil, but I posit that reaching further, faster, is ultimately our ethical imperative. There you go, chat. Just experiment on the people. It's just so much easier. Scientific advancement beyond Amadeus' designs will allow us to move beyond dependency on the demons. When we bring orders to the Empire, is that not the true Luckemy way? I know, what a classic line of I know I do evil. It's such an awkward sentence. By the results of the last few experiments, I decided to try splicing the biotech DNA into that of a grown Luckemy nobleman. Monstrous, yes, but our Emperor has given me leeway in my work. He appears to be very happy with my ability to make political opponents disappear. Fortunate side effect, I suppose. The effects of splicing on the subject occurred very quickly, but not without apparent physical discomfort on the subject's part. The final beneficial results are Rapid growth in the body's size and strength, much faster than any run-of-the-mill DNA enhancements, which are so popular among the wealthy, as well as marked improvement in magical ability. However, the negative side effects of the procedure, such as skin slowing off and an irregular restructuring of muscles, made this procedure unfit for any practical applications. Results of this experiment seem inconsistent with demonic designs. I've seen this sort of monstrosity before me. I'm not yet free of their influence. Perhaps we must move beyond their technical designs together. I'll do whatever it takes. We'll have to meditate on this. Oh, wait, I'm missing downloads. Oh, no, chat. Wait, how did I 100% clear and not get all the downloads? Oh, no, chat. I thought we were done. Maybe we have to keep playing a little longer. Did I have to, like, revisit, like, files and stuff like that? I know. I'm like, wait, how did I 100% and not get it? We'll go revisit the library. Maybe it's just that simple. It's possible there's books there or other download stations I missed. Origins. There's a strong psychic aura possessed by the biotech monstrosities Amadeus has helped us design. I know why. Between my reverse engineering and some further research into history, of all things, I can only conclude that Amadeus is a psychic being himself. A demon, to use the crude parlance. There's no doubt that his techniques will be of benefit to Lakim. They've already proven deadly, but there's a reason for the fear their designs engender. He, and his kin, for I believe there are more of them, feed on the hatred, disgust, and chaos that follows them. It aids Lakim for now. The continued reliance on them will not do. Lakim is built on order, on control. We cannot have such chaos following us everywhere. Find a way to get rid of these so-called allies. Well, I guess we'll look and see if we can find them. Let's see if the librarian says anything new, and then we'll hopefully be done once we're done with this. It's very silly that we 100%ed everything, but didn't get what we needed. Well, I like them worshipping the evil version of the Eternal Mother. I don't think we talked to them before, chat. Greetings, child. Have you come to worship the Eternal Mother? Who is that? Lune says, completely unaware of the true ending. Our goddess, the Eternal Mother. We all are her children. She decides when we live and when we die. When it is your time, may you greet her with acceptance. So we got rid of Lunace's statue, interestingly. Hello again. Okay, so nothing new there. There might be some odds and ends that I'm missing. Oh, whatever. War of the Sisters Plus. Valette Plus. I guess because we changed time, it changed the history. Okay, that was easy enough to find at least. So that's something we missed by not going back after we did the military hangar. Anyway, let's reread the journal. Lakim Plus. Lakim is a moon of the gas giant planet Korondar. It is one of 2 light-bearing planets in the solar system of Parat Anka. The planet has an ozone layer and magnetic field that protects it from Korondar's radiation. During the Second War of the Sisters, Lakim's atmosphere was poisoned by Venetian chemical weapons. The demons are hot, not gonna lie, says Ranish. Well, I mean, to be fair, I guess, you know, there was the succubus and then the incubus from earlier. I guess they had to appeal somehow to the other people. Lakim is the home world of the Lakim Empire. Since developing space travel technology in 918 AE, the Empire's benevolent reach has spread throughout the Ernea galaxy. The Valette Plus. Valette is the moon orbiting the gas giant planet of Korondar and is one of 2 light-bearing planets in the Parat Anka solar system. The planet has a unique atmosphere called a plasmasphere, which is full of plasma, a special type of radiation. Okay, so I think the beginning of these are the same as the other entry, but we change things about the ruler, I think is what I'm getting about, like, the plus icon here. In 14 BE, a portal to Lakim was discovered on a remote island in Lothar province of Valette. In 1 AE, the ruler of Valette began colonizing Lakim. 38 AE, at the climax of the War of the Sisters, the portal between the planets was destroyed. Valette was conquered by Lakim in 1025 after a 9-year war. Okay, so originally it said the planet was destroyed, so that was the change there. The Mad Despot thing was definitely from before. I'll read it again, though. Lakim's bitter rival, Valette, was ruled by a mad despot who wished to control Lakim's resources. In 38 AE, after Lakim rebelled against Valette's oppression, they destroyed the portal between the worlds. This brave act by Queen Elenia the Great, founder of the Lakemi Empire, ended Valette's oppression and won the War of the Sisters for Lakim, beginning a new golden era. Okay. So now we have officially read everything here. There's apparently things we still haven't accomplished. Beat the game on Nightmare mode. Find all melee orbs. Acquire every orb spell. Collect all familiar... Oh, there's familiars I could get. So there's more bosses. Defeat a boss without stopping time nor taking damage. That could be fun on like a replay. Obtain an orb without breaking its pedestal. Interesting. I've never tried that. So maybe there's like stuff locked away in New Game Plus. I don't know what else we would really get at this point. I could briefly explore. Maybe we'll revisit for 100%ing, but I think I would need a guide at this point. Because I've done everything that I think is obvious. Like, we've literally explored every possible tile in the game. So shy of like going back and talking to these people one more time. I'm not sure how we would get some of those. And obviously we've gotten all the orbs that I know of, so there's not much we could do there. I guess in a way I could just buy all of these. If I really wanted to, I could get more of these. But I don't know. A healing ring? Yeah, we don't need that. Attack a third time if all melee orbs are busy. Interesting. Well, we could have been stealing health per attack. That seems kind of unfair. Oculus ring reveals hidden passageways. That makes sense when you're trying to 100% the maps. Reduces the cost of spells. We didn't use spells as much towards the end of the game. It's like a good way to kind of charge while you're dodging, so that way you're not really losing DPS, which I have to say is a really good mechanic. That made the game feel a lot better than some other games we played where we don't get to attack for long periods. Just gonna call them out, chat. Empire Orb scales pretty quickly. There's just the weak orbs that don't scale very fast. Whereas Iron Orb and other things go up 2+ damage a pop. That's interesting. I don't think I'm ever gonna, use those, but I guess if we play the randomizer, we have an idea of what to expect there. So I guess we'll give one little mini send-off, since I think that's all I'm gonna do without going through a guide. We've 100%ed the map. I guess, actually, before I do that, there's one more thing I can check. Just to say that we are done, and that is seeing if we can get an alternate cutscene. Since we wrapped up missing town dialogue last time. So if you remember, in the present, I had an option between two different things. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to make that decision or not. I want to see if there's a boss there I can fight. If not, it's not a big deal. Yeah, so I don't have the option anymore. There was another option over here to go back and stop Volteris, but I don't think I can do that without doing a New Game Plus, sadly. I think that's the only thing I'm like really truly missing. Maybe there's stuff that also unlocks in New Game Plus, but I don't know. Playing through the whole game just to see like another minute of cutscenes. Kind of whatever to me, chat. So now I think we'll officially say that we're done for now. Maybe we'll go back in 100% if it doesn't seem too annoying to do, but I'm going to say this is the official end of the playthrough. Everything after this would just be bonus. So we've read all the manuals, we've beaten the game multiple times. We've unlocked New Game Plus, we unlocked a Nightmare mode. Maybe we'll see what it's like in the future. But for today, for this playthrough, I think it's safe to say that it's over. So hope you enjoyed the playthrough of this game. We're going to talk a little bit about our overall thoughts and feelings in a separate video. So for YouTube, we're going to say goodbye again, but for the stream, we'll stick around, discuss our feelings about the game. And yeah, I think that'll be that. So if you did watch to this point, YouTube, hopefully you enjoyed the lore, but for now, it's time to say goodbye. See you again in the next part.